Hey all, Hipper here. So Mainz is available and there's already lots of videos out there, so I thought I would go through 6 of my favorite builds for the ship here. So I'm starting out with my Agile build, and this is using Lutyens, and this is probably not a build many people will use because it's not the best brawler, this ship here, but I do use it. Takao, Azure Lane Baltimore, and Ingenious, and very important for Agile builds, and Velocis, Steer Clear, and of course Fully Packed, giving you an extra consumable of all of them basically. On the ship I have aiming systems, and then I have double rudder. This is the only build I have a double rudder on this ship here, and then I have the improved reload here. So a pretty standard Agile build, pretty much the same one I use on Hipper. So you see here we get 3 sonars, which is great if you push in, but like I said, Mainz is not as good as Hipper in pushing in. And you also get 3 heals, which is great. You're going to need those, trust me. 16.3 range and 5.3 reload, so not bad. 2.3 rudder shift and 36 knots. So quite agile, but not as agile as Hipper. So let's look at the next build here, and this is using von Müller. So this build here is full range, full high explosives, and I think it's one of the better builds for this ship. So see here I'm using Müller with the Mimbelli for improved reload, and then Kuznetsov for improved range. And then again I'm using Beyond Range here, and then Igniter for better HE and for better fire chance, and then Punch Through for better AP, and then Fixated for better accuracy. And then of course I use Refill Station here. That can give me another 10% range if I'm close to an ally, and you'll see in a minute what that means. And of course 10% better reload, which is quite crazy. Aiming systems, steering gears, you can go with propulsion here if you want, and concealment system, not rudder on this build. And then I have the improved range here again, because this build here is primarily a range build. For spamming HE from afar where no one can really hit you. Pretty much a Cleveland build, more or less. Of course you miss out on an extra sonar and an extra heal, but look at this. 20 kilometer range and 5-second reload and 11% fire chance. And if you're close to an ally, you will get nearly 22 kilometer range, which is just nuts. 8.4 rudder, so not an agile build at all. So this is a good build, I like this. So next up is the commander that I believe most people will run, and it's the Azure Lane Hipper. She is kind of a midway commander between agile and offensive build. So that's also why how I've spec'd the ship. Again I'm using Mimbelli and Kuznetsov, but then I'm using Ingenious instead of range here. You could go beyond range if you want to, and I'm using full speed here. You could pop up your fire chance. Then I'm using the AP and Fixated, and again Refill Station here to improve the reload. So this is pretty good all-round build. It gives you Ingenious and also gives you great offensive powers, and I have the same upgrades as I did on the previous build. Again 18 kilometer range this time, 5.3 second reload, but only 8% fire chance, and a slightly better rudder, and yeah, but still not an agile build at all. This is an offensive build primarily. Alright, so next up we have the Ghost build here using Azure Lane Graph Speed. And of course this build here allows you to go dark after firing your guns after only 12 seconds. So we have Graph Speed, and then we have Lightful and Lemonnier as inspirations. And that's the whole gimmick of this build here basically. So if you put other inspirations, then you're kind of breaking this build. So beyond range, because we want a lot of range to play with, and then of course the Ghost give you better concealment, Punch Through, Fixated, and again Refill Station for better reload. So with this build here you can sit somewhere and you can, you know, pepper the enemies, and as soon as their tension gets a little bit too much, just stop firing, and 12 seconds later you'll go dark and you can reposition. And the ship setup is the same as before, nothing has really changed there. You could go with better reload time here instead of the range, but I chose range, so that means I have more range to play with between my concealment range and my gun range. So 19 kilometer range and 5.6 reload, and 11 kilometer concealment, meaning that you have an 8 kilometer window you can use to go dark. So that works really well. I like this build. I haven't played a lot. I think I only played it once actually. So but I suspect it would be a good pick. Alright, next up is a pure reload build. And here we're giving up some range to get the reload down to almost 4 seconds, which is just crazy. Because this ship here has 12 guns. So we have Mimbelli and we have Ruchang, both of them very high level. And then of course we have Beyond Range. You could choose the HE skill here, but I didn't. Igniter, Punch Through, and Fixated. And then of course Refill Station. Gives you another 10% range also if you need it, if you're close to an ally. And of course this will boost our reload even more. So this is pretty much an HE spammer's dream build. So again, aiming systems and steering gears, you can go with propulsion, concealment system, and of course improved reload here. So if you can find a safe place to sit in this ship here with this build, you can do a lot of damage. 18 kilometer range, 4.3 second reload, that is just crazy, and 11% fire chance, that is nuts. This is going to be a nasty build, very, very, very nasty. I'm happy I'm not a battleship at the moment. It's going to be tough times ahead. So this is probably one of the best builds for mines, I think, to be honest. Alright, so lastly we have the new Augustin Riggerwald Warhammer Commander, and other than being a total rip-off in a bundle in the shop, then this guy is all about armor-piercing penetration. At least that's what I've focused on in this build here. So let's just have a look here. I have Yamamoto for better penetration, and then again I have Mimbelli for better reload. You could go with Luchantier for better AP, but I didn't. And his base perk is good for your AP, and of course gives you a little bit extra reload as well. Range and Kraken Shells, his special skill here, gives you more speed on your cruiser and better AP penetration. And Punch Through gives you better AP penetration again. And of course Fixated for a little bit better dispersion. And then better range and better reload, of course. And of course this guy is only 14-1, so the reload here is not as good as it could be. But if you you know, put some more resources into Riggerwald here, you could have a very powerful AP build. I'm still not sure this is better than the HE build, but we have 4.7 reload, 18 kilometer range, only 8% fire setting chance. That's not as good as the Müller build from before, but still quite good. So yeah, Riggerwald, I'm not really convinced about this guy, but I got him in a crate, so I upgraded him anyway, and I will of course take him out on the ship to see how he really does. But that'll be in a different video. So that was my 6 builds for mines that I think will do really well. And of course I don't expect everyone to have all of these commanders at this level, but at least it gives you something to choose between. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you out there.